Well, hello everybody. Thought I'd share this little bit of religious garbage. Um, so I'm sure some of you are aware that there's this weird trend going on of adult coloring books, where basically, while people could easily go to a drugstore and buy a $2 coloring book of Cinderella or some Disney thing, people are now making and selling $30 coloring books for adults. They seem to be aimed at people having very stressful times in their lives or midlife crises, because it's sold as sort of like a relaxation guide for stressed out like 40-year-olds. It's kind of odd that this is like the new trend, just these overpriced coloring books for adults. But I went to go see Risen. Risen is basically Law and Order Jesus Inspection Unit. It's about a Roman soldier who is investigating the disappearance of Jesus's body, disappearing from the tomb and everything. Since I enjoy going to see bad Christian movies to make fun of them, I went to see it. Risen's actually on the higher end of bad Christian movies, basically on a scale of 1 to 10, where 1 is something as intellectually bankrupt and morally reprehensible as God's Not Dead, and 10 is your average real, non-Christian movie. Risen's like around a 6 on that one. It's a bit more well-made, well-acted, and has some interesting sets, but it has laughable dialogue, and it gets really boring in the last half hour because it just goes full Jesus at that point. It also weirdly portrays all of the apostles as, like, brain-dead, giggly, brainwashed, like, madmen who were just, like, I don't know, intoxicated with cult-like glee. It's kind of odd. And from the director of Waterworld. But, anyway, the movie theater was handing out a miniature little free adult coloring book, Miracles from Heaven, which ties into a movie that's coming out next month, another bad Christian movie, Miracles from Heaven. It's from the makers of Heaven is for Real, the movie based on the Book of Lies about a kid who claimed to die and have a near-death experience and go to heaven. Penn and Teller actually did a great episode of their show Bullshit explaining near-death experiences and the stuff behind them. Like, if you put an astronaut in one of those, like, centrifuges where it spins really fast, they'll also pass out and they'll have one of them. You're not going to heaven. Also, you might see a flash of white if you press on your eyes because the optic nerve will flash. But, yeah, there's no heaven. Religion is bullshit. But here we have a new movie, and Jennifer Garner is the latest actress whose career is dead and is reduced to doing one of these bad movies. Just like Joseph Fiennes in Risen. But, yeah, I thought it was a little odd now that they're handing out coloring books for bad Jesus movies. This is the day the Lord has made. Let us rejoice and be glad in it. So you can paint this happy little tree. Anything that looks like bad tattoo flash art can go in a adult coloring book. Yes. Miracles from Heaven. Yeah. Draw in the pretty little bird. And a butterfly. All the cliches. Why don't you just have a sugar skull in here too? Take a moment to breathe, because again, they're selling this to stressed out adults who are, I have a feeling these books are sold to mothers who have just had a kid so they don't, like, murder them in postpartum depression, or, I don't know, just keeping them, like, anybody from just, like, shooting up their home or something. So take a moment to breathe, draw in these hearts and flowers and anything else you might find in a box of Lucky Charms. Beauty restores faith. Ooh, yes. Any other empty platitudes that you want me to color in here? There's a bee pollinating a flower, but, you can't really believe in that. That's a little bit too close to natural selection. Some more butterflies. That's always good. Believe in miracles. Cue Dr. Manhattan from Watchmen. Yeah, so, roses, you are my rose. We got this coral pattern, more butterflies. Yeah, you don't get much to actually draw in, and this is pretty much the cover, which you can draw yourself, so... Ah, man, I don't know. Let's... Later this year we have God's Not Dead 2, which opens on April Fool's Day, which is a little too perfect. And we had War Room last year, and these bad Christian movies just keep coming because 2 years ago a bunch of them made money. A few have bombed this year. I guess Woodlawn did all right, but Captive bombed. 90 Minutes in Heaven bombed. My All American wasn't super Christy, but it was still, football go America, and it was and it mentioned the word faith way too much, and that bombed. So, some of these aren't doing as much business as they could. I guess Risen did all right. It did like 11 mil on opening weekend. So, yeah, just thought I'd show off, because A, I don't like religion, B, Christian movies are horrible, and C, this weird trend of adult coloring books is like the new pet rock. It's the new, like, weird, overpriced fad that is sweeping, that is just fucking stupid. If you're stressed out and you want to color, that's perfectly fine, but you can get very cheap coloring books that have, like, more interesting pictures than, the bullshit, like, loser's flash art that you get in these books. And especially without the pious platitudes of a coloring book. So, yeah, here's Karl Marx. Hey, Carl. Thought you'd enjoy your little cat. Hi, Carl. Beep. Alright. Well, see you next time, guys.